Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, with my coffee in my mug from my shop. Anyway, not much coffee in it at the moment because I've just done another video, but there's still a little bit left in it. So I wasn't going to do any rants of the day or twonks of the day over Christmas, but how can I not? How can I not? I mean, just when you think the British government can't get any worse, they get worse, don't they? So I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this was a joke. It's only a joke, just a bit of banter, just a bit of banter from our Home Secretary, James, not so cleverly. I mean, talk about the man. I thought he was all right, and that, do you know, honest to God, anyone I think is all right in the beginning turns out to be a right twonk later on. So, you know, I've obviously got no judgment. So our Home Secretary, the British Home Secretary, James Cleverly, this guy, he has made a joke, a bit banter about the date rape drug. I mean, come on. So James Cleverly has apologised after joking about putting a date rape drug in his wife's drink. Yes, honestly, you're not dreaming. I'm not making it up. He made a joke about a Downing Street reception. So it's not even a joke. I mean, not that it would be good even if he did it at home with his mates or whatever. But this is a comment he made at a Downing Street reception. I mean, how thick is he to think that that wouldn't go any further? Within hours of the Home Office announcing plans to crack down on spiking. Now, spiking people's drinks is a very, very serious problem. You know, lots of people are murdered after it or raped, or, you know, this is like not a joking. It's just some things you don't joke about. Well, certainly not when you're the Home Secretary, you know, like you're supposed to have a responsible position. It's unbelievable. So, and there were women at this reception as well. Not that it would matter if they were all men, but it just makes it even worse. I mean, how thick is this man that is the Home Secretary of Britain? The Home Secretary told female guests a little bit of Roffinol in her drink every night was not really illegal, if only a little bit, the Sunday Mirror reported. He also laughed that the secret to a long marriage was ensuring your spouse was someone who is always mildly sedated, so she can never realise there are better men out there. You know, just let that sink in for a minute. Is that, you know, I'm speechless. It takes a lot to make me speechless, as you know. The Home Secretary and his wife Susie have 2 children. Conversations at Downing Street receptions are usually understood to be off the record. Oh my God, these are the people who are running the country. This is not like down the Working Men's Club, you know, in the pub at the end of the road. These are the people that are running our country. So the Sunday Mirror decided to break the convention because of Mr. Cleverly's position and the subject matter. And that is the other thing. It's not, you know, Fred blogs just make, and even that's horrible. You know, if your brother or your dad or your boyfriend or your son made this comment, you'd think, oh, that's not very nice. But these are the people running the country. Apart from everything, it shows how thick he is if he thinks that no, this is never going to get reported back. So a spokesman for Mr. Cleverly said, in what was always understood as a private conversation, James, the Home Secretary, tackling spiking, made what was clearly meant to be an ironic joke. Well, I'll tell you what, you go and ask all those men and women that have been spiked, because then the grinder killer, he used spiking to drug his victims before he murdered them, the young men that he murdered. Go and tell their families that it's an ironic joke. Go and tell the other women who've been spiked and woken up and not even known where they were or what happened to them. Go and tell them that it's an ironic joke. It is disgusting. Anyway, he apologises. Oh, well, that's okay then. So the Home Secretary has previously described tackling violence against women and girls as a personal priority and called spiking when someone puts drinks into another person's drink or directly into their body without their knowledge or consent a perverse crime. Senior Labour figures criticised Mr Cleverly's appalling comments, with Alex Davis-Jones, Shadow Minister for Domestic Violence and Safeguarding, saying it was a joke. It was a joke is the most tired excuse in the book and no one is buying it. Yeah, just banter. Just a bit of banter, mate. Just a bit of banter. If the Home Secretary is serious about tackling spiking and violence against, why do people do this? Why do people do this? It tends to be middle-aged men. I'm sorry, middle-aged men. I know loads of you are lovely, but I've seen it so much, and especially on YouTube, making these jokes and then afterwards, oh, it's just a bit of banter. Oh, no harm meant. No, they're horrible people. These are horrible people that do this because it's even in their mind to say these things. It's they're not nice people. They're just not nice people. It's like Piers Morgan, who's the other idiot? Oh, Jeremy Clarkson, like, oh, just a bit of banter, just a joke, didn't mean anything by it. Shut up. Anyway, if the Home Secretary is serious about tackling spiking and violence against women and girls and boys, don't forget the Grinder killer, his victims, they were boys. It's not only women and girls. It's spiking drinks, drugging people, men or women. Then that requires a full cultural change. The banter needs to stop and it has to start at the top. Now, there's some humour, there's this humour's really at war at the moment, isn't it? Because there are some things that I look at and I think, oh, that should be, humour. We can't be frightened of offending everybody, but there are some places you just don't go. Not jokes about spiking people's drinks. That's a crime. I honestly can't believe it. Now, the other thing I want to show you, because of course this is spread across the world, the news of this is another thing, ruins our reputation around the world. So this is how the Indian news reported it. I'm going to look at that. And it's been reported everywhere, all over the world. People can't believe that he said it.
The remarks came just hours after the Home Office announced plans to crack down on spiking. Now, spiking is when someone puts drugs into another person's drink or directly into their body without their knowledge or consent. UK media reported that Cleverly told female guests at the reception, and I'm quoting him here, a little bit of Rofinol in her drink every night was not really illegal if it's only a little bit.
Esta genial invención de calefacción para el hogar reduce instantáneamente tus facturas de energía en un 85%. Este calefactor ha sido bautizado como el Tesla de los calefactores.
That's exactly what Cleverly said. He reportedly said that the ideal spouse is someone who is always mildly sedated so that she can never realize that there are better men out there, unquote.
So the ideal spouse is someone who's always mildly sedated so she can't realise there's anyone better out there. What an idiot. He needs to resign. Of course, he won't probably resign. I think, to be honest, I think he lost the plot ever since he's been made Home Secretary. And he liked being the Foreign Minister, didn't he? And now David Cameron's the Foreign Minister. I don't think he's ever got over that. He's lost the plot a little bit.
Senior Labour figures have criticised Cleverly's appalling comments. The Shadow Minister for Domestic Violence and Safeguarding, Alex Davis, has said, and I'm quoting here, if the Home Secretary is serious about tackling spiking and violence against women and girls, then that requires a full cultural change. The banter needs to stop and it has to start at the top. Well, this is not a first time that Cleverly has...
Esta genial invención de calefacción para el hogar reduce instantáneamente tus facturas de energía en un 85%. Este calefactor...
said such things, and he also had to apologize last month for using unparliamentary language to describe a Labour MP. Police forces in England and Wales shared spiking reports with the National Police Chiefs Council between September 2021 and September 2022. 2,581 reports of spiking by needle were recorded from 1st September 2021 to 31st August 2022. 2,131 reports of drink spiking were recorded from 1st May 2022 to 1st September 2022. 212 reports of spiking by cigarettes or food were recorded from 1st.
Esta genial invención de calefacción para...
I can't listen to another advert. But basically, I think you get the gist of it. He's a fool, basically, a total fool. And he needs to go. But then they're going to have nobody left, are they? If anybody else, in the end, it's just going to be Rishi Sunak. Fishy Rishi, there'll just be him left, and everybody else. He just can't control his party. But anyway, there you go. So what a twonk. So there's a definite, well, he's definitely twonk of the day so far. God, it's only 10 o'clock. God knows what will happen as the day goes on. But he's definitely twonk of the day. And he may end up being twonk of the year, mightn't he? But he's got a lot of competition for that, of course, not only amongst the government. But it just seems incredible to me. A serious thing like spiking someone's drink that has led to people being murdered, being RAPD'd, and he thinks it's appropriate to make a joke about it. Very odd. What is wrong? He must have been drunk. Maybe someone has spiked his drink. Anyway, I'll see you really soon in the next video. Enjoy your Christmas Eve, and I'll be back later for a live. Oh, and may your God go with you.